Hello everyone, welcome to the Learning Log. This is the first long video of the channel, and today we will be discussing about what I did in my first week, what I studied, what resources I used, what changes came into my plan for the phase one. In front of you, you can see what my actual learning plan is. In the foundation, the first phase, foundation, it was earlier what data analytics is, types of analysis, analytical thinking, right? In the first week, I obviously understood what actually data analytics is, what analysts actually do, and I started a basic understanding of SQL, learned some basic querying in the SQL. Also, I have been saying that I will be sharing the Notion log I have been using to track all my studies, notes. So let me show it to you how I'm storing everything, how you can use it for yourself to learn. Uh, so this is the learning log. Yeah, as you can see, there are four phases: phase one, foundation; phase two, core tools; phase three, programming and visualization; phase four, practice and reflection. I'm done with phase one in the first week. It was not a big one. The next phase will be in more depth because we will be studying the tools like intermediate and advanced level for SQL, Excel, and basic statistics also. In phase one, I focused on what is data analytics, databases, and SQL intro, SQL beginner level. So let me show how you can use it. You can go here, you can open this side, you can set your own deadlines, you can have other sub items if you want your thoughts and comments. If you go here, click what it's a small intro from me. What is data analytics? So I have shared an example. It's a basic example so anyone can understand it. Like think you are working in a shop or running a shop or a restaurant, and you are new. You opened it just few weeks ago, and you see that on some days you have more customers, more demand of some things. So you use that data, understand the trends, and use it to change your supply or the raw materials you are ordering. You increase it or decrease it to cut overall losses and increase the profit, uh, decrease the wastage of material and stuff. You can see here. I have also given a perfect the definition for it. Like data analytics is a process of examining, cleaning, transforming, and interpreting data to discover useful information, draw conclusion, and support decision making. So on a high level, in a big corporation and MNC, they use data to understand their consumer base, what they read, what is the trend right now, change their tactics depending on that, draw conclusion, scrap the scrap the things they think are not profitable, look for which product are gonna make them more money or help the people which are in more demand. And what problem does a data analyst solve? A data analyst take raw data and transform into insights which eventually help in decision making. What tools keep coming up and again and again? The most important tools here will be SQL, Excel. You also use visualization tools like Power BI, Tableau, and at a higher level, we use Python. And knowing cloud services give you an edge, like Python, and having basic knowledge of coding gives you an edge on the basic like beginner level data analyst. So the following are the tools we will be focusing in the future. These are the seven tools. Right now we will be starting with SQL, later moving to Excel, Tableau, and other things too. So I will be explaining you about the SQL queries I have learned till now. You can check the database and SQL intro. Here you will see explanation about tables, rows, columns, and all. What is a database? How a database is used in analysis. things like that. There's also a small summary in the end for you guys. You can also create your own notes. I have digital notes just so that it is more helpful to you. In the final part of phase one is SQL, like beginner level queries only. So when you go here, you will see the first and the most basic SQL query select. So I have small notes points for you. Also have image screenshot taken. I will also show you guys this query working on the MySQL workbench, so it's more easier for you to understand. Let's start with select query. Yeah. So select query is the most basic one in which select. So let's just say I have a table here, data set here, parks and recreation, which consist of three tables: employee demographic, employee salary, and park departments. If I want to select a table in the, I want to see the data from the table, I can directly go select view star to get all the columns and rows, like everything. And from, if I am not inside the following table, like I have more databases here, if I go to this database, but I want to get the table employee demographics from the park and recreation one, I can write park recreation dot employee demographics. And when I run this, you can see the table show up. But as you can see, the Sakila database is like bolded right now. So if I remove this park and recreation and then run this, we are getting an error that there is no employee demographic in the Sakila database. But if I go here and double click on park and recreation, we can see that it's bolded now. So we have entered the database. And if I run this query now, we can see we can see that the table is shown to us. So if we are in the database, we can directly write employee demographics. But if we are not, we can write parks and recreation, the database name dot the table name. It's as simple as that. We can also just select a single row from this, a single column from this. Like we can go first name if we only want the first name and last name from the table. We can do this and run. When we run this, we can see we have got all the entries from the table from of the column first name and the last name. uh, as you can see, we have the syntax here: column, select column 1, column 2, or we can use select star if you want to return all columns. We have a option to use select distinct. Select distinct is used when there are repetition of a same entries. Like if we are talking about gender, we know that gender will be male or female, right? So if I go select distinct gender from employer demographics and run this query, we can see we only get male or female. So there are only two different types of entries in this column. But if we remove the distinct from the gender, this query, we can see male, female, female, male, multiple entries. So these are all the entries from that column. But if we are using distinct, we can only see the unique ones. Yeah. We can also use count distinct. So it will count the distinct uh, entries, count distinct gender. If you do this, you can see that there are two distinct genders in the employee demographic tables. And if you, I have also answered the simple questions which might pop in your mind. We use why we use semicolon after SQL statements. I was not using it here because it was an only a single SQL statement. But when we go multiple SQL statement we use this. It's like in coding also, we use semicolons. It's used to separate each SQL statement in database system to allow more than one SQL statement to be executed in the same call to the server. Okay, yeah. Also, I have mentioned that the calculation in SQL follows rule of PEMDAS, parenthesis, exponent, multiplier, division, addition, and subtraction. I'm not gonna explain everything to you because this is not a channel that will teach you everything. It's more like I will tell you what I am studying. I will tell you how you can. I will tell you what challenges I am facing, what you need to learn, which will help you in this journey with me. And I hope you already know BODMAS, which we use in maths. So it's similar to that. Next, we are moving to the where clause. Where clause. If we are in a big database, let's just go. Let's just say I am selecting everything from employee table. Let's just go from select gender from employee demographics, but I want the entries where the gender is only male. I only want male genders. Okay, select all. Okay, yeah. If I do this, the entries we will see will be only for the male gender in the employer demographics. And when we run this, we can see only male gender entries we can are shown to us, not female ones. Also, one more thing I want to tell you guys: when you go and select something on MySQL workbench like this and use this, execute the statement under the keyboard cursor. Like if we have select star from park departments. Okay, we have another SQL statement here, but if we run this right now, we will get both the tables. We have employer demographics and park department, as you can see. But if we go here, our cursor is on the first statement, and I use this execute the statement at keyboard cursor. We can see only the first query is run. While if I go here and now I again use the same, I can see only the second query is run. So we can use this to execute the single SQL statement if we want, and use this one, this option here, to run all the queries together. Yeah. Okay. Now, I hope you can understand where how to why we use where. We are checking for conditions we want from the table. This is actually used a lot. Like obviously from a database, you don't want everything every time. You want something specific. So you use where. We can use the following operators in the where clause. I have also given some examples for that. One of the confusing one is like statement of search for a pattern. You can see in the example. Let me show you again here. Okay, where, let's say first name, like what are we doing here? First name like, and the percent here is percent a. Yeah, okay, and we run this. What are we shown? First name like a. We can see before a we can have anything in the first name, as I have written here, means anything, and the underscore means specific value. If I put two underscores after a and then run this, I got before a it can be anything, but after a there are two. I put two underscores means there are two letters after a. So before a it can be nothing or any number of letters, but after a there should be two letters. So we get these three entries, and before a we have nothing, but after a two letters. Yeah, we can use this all together or alone also. If I remove the anything part, like the percentage sign, it becomes only and, because before a we don't need anything, we don't want anything. And if we do two underscores and after that percentage sign, yeah, after a we have two underscores and a percentage signs means after a we have two letters, and after those two letters we can have anything, or if we don't have anything also that also work, like April, APR should three letters are must. Among those three, A is a compulsory. After that, any two letters, and the percent means anything after those three letters. So we get April and an Andy. I hope you can understand this operators in where clause. There are other operators like greater than, less than, not equal. I have also mentioned everything here. Like A tells it start from A and has two characters. I hope these notes will also help you if you are not able to understand. And if you are still confused, I will tell you to go to Chat GPT. Obviously, it's AI. AI has been very useful to us, so use it correctly, use it to learn nicely. It will help you a lot. Okay, yeah. We also have logical operators like and, or, and not. So I will say that you experiment on your own, you write different SQL queries. It will help you a lot that way. Next, we have a group by clause. Group by clause we use to group together different rows that have same values in the specified column, or columns that we are actually grouping on. Okay. So as you can see in this example, we have select gender, average age. From employer demographic, we are selecting gender and we are using an aggregate function average here, which gives the average for the age. And we are grouping by gender. So what does this exactly mean? Let me just write it for you here. Okay. So you can understand it better. Select gender, average age. Also, let me just tell you another concept here only. Average age, we can also use aliasing here. We can write average underscore age. So if we are using, we need to use average age again. We can just write avg underscore age. We don't need to use the aggregate all again and again. Okay, yeah, from employee demographics. Next, where uh, we can just we can use here where, but in our example we are not. So let's just go with by let me show you the example only. Group by gender. So what we are doing here, we are selecting two rows, gender and average age from employer demographics, and we are grouping them by gender. So we are just going how many different genders are there and what are the average ages in them. When we run this, we get female, the average is 38.5, male 41.28. Okay, we are using aggregate function kind of calculation based off groups. We can also group two rows as it's shown in this example. Okay, let me just show it to you here. If as I was talking about aliasing, which we do by using as, or we can do it directly without writing as also. This is also this will also work, but let's just write as for the means to understand, like make it easier to understand. Moving forward, we have group by gender, and if we write average, we're already been showing. If we are write average age, it won't. I don't think it will change anything. Yeah, can't group on average age. Yeah, we cannot group on that. Yeah, so that's something we learned right now, that we cannot group on aggregate function right now. Right here, we can group on different rows or different columns altogether, but not on the aggregate function here. We also have order by clause. The order by keyword is used to sort the results set in ascending or descending order. So if we have group by gender, order, I'm also experimenting here. So I think let's just try order by average age. Let's say if we are using order by the the default is ascending only. So let's try descending order. And when we run it, yeah, we get male and female. We get the descending order in the average age. So you can see we can use the alias name for average aggregate function average on age and use order by to get a specific order of the column. It depends on which column we are using the order by, and that changes all the rows accordingly. We can also order alphabetically. The string values will order alphabetically. Similarly, we have alphabetically descending order, order by several columns. We can also use order by multiple columns. But when we are doing that, it will happen in a sequence. Like if we are writing here gender and then first name, it will first order by gender. And if there are similar genders, like a person is 32 and another person is like if a person is male, another person is also male. So they will be in a same order, and after it will check first name. So it the same portion will be reordered depending on the first name now. As you can see, females are all grouped together above male, and also their names are also in ascending order only, as order by is default ascending. We can also use ascending and descending both together. That also have use the similar rule in which the first column will be arranged according to the command first, and then depending on similarities or the similar entries, the second column will be a second command will be run. Now the next thing we have is having versus where. So having clause was added to SQL because the where keyword cannot be used with aggregate function. So we cannot use where keyword with aggregate function. So we had having a clause added. So the having syntax can be seen here. Select column 1, column 2 from table name, grouping by column, having condition. We can also use both in a single query. I have a first example here for select gender average age from employee demographics and group by gender having average age more than 40. So we are grouping by gender. If we stopped before only like group by gender only, as we saw earlier, we would have a female first first row female 32 or 33.5 average age and next male. But uh, as we are querying only the ones with the average age more than 40, we only have one single column, single row, which is male, and 41.28, which is more than 40. And if we are using both queries, single query all together, this is a different table here, employee salary. Uh, Let me just run this for you so it's easier to ingest. Select occupation, and we are going average salary from employee salary table, where occupation. Now we are using the like operator here, and we are writing at the rate manage percentage manager percentage. So after and before manager, it can have any words, but manager should be there. Okay. Next we have group by occupation. We are grouping by occupation, having average salary more than 70,000, I guess. 75,000. Okay. Let's just go with 70,000 to see some change. Okay. Before I run this, let me show you what this table actually looks like. Select from employee salary. Okay. Let me just run this and show you what this table looks like. This table looks like something like this. We have occupation, first name, last name, salary, department ID. Okay. If I run this query, We get city manager, average salary 90,000. So we had, let's see how many managers we had. We had office managers, two office managers, city manager. So if we see it till here only, we could have got four entries, three entries, right? Three entries, three rows uh, in return, but we had a having clause which said average salary should have been more than 70,000. If we go 60,000 more than and equal to 60,000 and run this, okay, let me see, more than 50,000. So yeah, when we go this, we see the average salary because office manager is grouped together based on occupation. We had the when we average it, it becomes 55. That's why when we are running the query with 60,000, we were not getting any result. But after running it more than 50, we are getting the office manager also as the result for the query. Yeah. So I hope you understood having and where clause. This is the one I face the most challenge. I am still understanding it. What's why we cannot directly use uh, the where clause, but I have studied it from like I've not gone in the depth yet, so I will be, and I hope you also look for the things you are finding difficult to understand. Next, I have limits and aliasing. It uh, it's the most easy topic I can say. If we use limit clause, we will get set amount of rows. It's basically telling if a database has 100 rows, but we want 10 rows, we can just write limit 10. So we will get 10 rows. We can also go like if we want some rows from the third, we want rows from the database middle portion, like after 100. We can do that by writing like we wrote limit 3 comma 1. So it tell skip the first three and after that give me a single row. So that's what the command gives, returns the query returns skipping the first three and giving the next one row. As and aliasing we have already talked. We use as to name the aggregate function or any. We can use aliasing also on gender. If we write select gender as G, later we can use group by G. It's just if we have a big name like employee, we can also write from employer demographics as ED, just to make it an abbreviation, we can say, to make it easier to write. We don't have to write it every time, we can have it small. So that's what we use aliasing for. So this is what my phase one had. I have talked about every topic here, the queries I have studied. I've also started with the intermediate portion where I will be learning joins later. Also, the resources which I am using here, what are they? Let me show it to you directly. So the things I am using right now is Alex, the analyst, data analyst playlist. It's a really good playlist. I like it. I've been using it to study. It's the videos are not too long. He explain it really well. So I really like it. You can use it too, or you can use any other playlist if you like. It's a free resource. I will also mention some paid resources later in the future, but for now I am using this resource. Also for documentation, I am using uh, W3 schools because they have good exercises and good explanations, also examples too. So I will be putting the links for the playlist and W3 school documentation below in the description so you can check that. And I will also be adding the Notion log link below so you can copy it, use it in your own way. Also, if you go to the Notion log, Just a second. Yeah, if you go to the Notion log, you also have a feed like this, so you can use the table or the feed. You can copy it, update it in your own way, copy it in your Notion, and add deadlines, your thoughts, comments, what you felt was hard. You can change these things. You can add subsections here by adding new subsection. Yeah, so I hope this is helpful to you. I will meet you next week again. And as this is my first video, I know it might felt like, yeah, he's stuttering a lot, he's slow, but I hope you can bear with me. And I'm just trying to help you and help myself. I'm learning with you guys together. We will try to become good data analyst and carry on this journey. And I hope I can help you guys, and together we do this. Okay. So yeah, thank you. And if you like this, if you like the channel, if you like the videos, if you like the resources, please follow, subscribe. I'm not saying I'm an expert here. I am also learning analytics with you. So let's continue this on this journey together.